Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is Mr. T. I am here with some problematic exercises. I don't know why there's so many problems with 9C and 9E, but there are. Um, uh, Here's my honest opinion. Those videos that I made for 9C and 9E simply weren't watched or weren't watched enough, or you didn't read the textbook or something like that. The lesson in Virtual High School gives some sort of questionable advice for how to do these prepositional phrases. There is some good stuff to be said about it and some bad stuff. Um, I think generally what the advice in the lesson is if there's motion towards a place, like this preposition here, odd, that means to or toward, that would suggest motion toward something, obviously. Then you use the accusative case to follow it. Odd takes is followed by a word in the accusative case. If you need refreshing on cases, of course, they are right here. If you're looking for accusative, there you see it. Ums, and all this, ems and vocems and all that. And if you're looking for ablatives, there are these long vowels here in this ablative line, and they're the plurals down here. So I think it's fine to say motion towards means it should be accusative, and motion from or something like that should be ablative. Generally that's true, but I think it's a lot easier just to look at this here. The words underlined above form prepositional phrases in which the prepositions odd, pair, and prope are used with the accusative case. That's the critical thing right there. Odd, pair, and prope are followed by accusative case. And down here, note that X and A, and then also I think sub is down here. Those are ablative prepositions, and in is kind of weird. It can be either ablative or accusative. If it means in, like in a place, it's ablative, and if it means in, like into a place, which again is a kind of a motion thing, then it's followed by an accusative noun. So that's spelled out pretty clearly there. Here again are the cases for the different declensions of nouns. So if you read this carefully and you know this chart a little bit, or you just refer to that chart, and you watch the video that I made, or the videos that I made for 9C and 9E, really all the answers are there. Now I'm going to show you Emily's this week because she appears to have gotten that. She appears to have taken the time to sort of go through all that, and as a result, she got an or either a perfect score or an almost perfect score on this. And I'll just do maybe like a handful of 9C and 9E. You see, let's see, I'll get 9C over here. So you can see, here's 9C number one. Marcus odd something said it, right? It's either arborem or arbore. Now, some people also get confused by the fact, like, they think that, oh, I have to choose any one of these for each one of these sentences. But the way it works is, if it's number one, you choose from right here, these two. You don't choose from something down here. Choose just this one or that one for that blank there. So odd takes the accusative case. So if you look it up on the chart, you'll see that arborem, not arbore, is accusative. So as Emily says, Marcus ad arborem said it. Marcus sits at the tree. Ad either means to or toward, but here sometimes it means at as well. But either way you translate it, ad always is followed by an accusative word, not an ablative word. I'll jump down. Let's see. Let's do this double one here. Number four. Cornelia amicam a blank in blank ducit. So we know Cornelia leads or brings her friend out of the villa in or into the fields. Now, since she's leading her, we're going to say into the field. So here in this sentence, in is going to mean into, and therefore it's going to have an accusative ending. We have a motion going on there. And a, as you see on the previous page, a or x always is followed by an ablative noun. Now, villa with a long a is an ablative, and villam is an accusative. So it's really just a question, once again, of reading this page and seeing which prepositions take the accusative case and which prepositions take the ablative case. Okay. And then again, referring to this chart to sort of, figure those things out if you don't already have them memorized at all. One more, let's see. Number 10, Servus per agros festinat. Is that what Emily got here? Let's just see. No, yeah, 10. Servus per agros festinat. It is accusative. Per takes the accusative case, and agros is the accusative plural form of the word for field. Okay, so the slave hurries through the fields is the correct translation of that. And it's just knowing these are all prepositions and they either take ablative or accusative, and that's really all there is to it. Odd is accusative, a is ablative, odd is accusative. In, if it means in, it's ablative. In, if it means into, is accusative. So in here, many slaves work in the fields is going to be agris. A ablative, in, since we're talking about, I already did this one, sorry. Servus sub arbore sub ramis dormit. The slave sleeps under the branches. Sub is always followed by ablative. So rather than just weary you by talking about this forever, I'm hoping you get the point there. I gave plenty of good videos on this, plus a video from Latin Tutorial, plus you have the textbook to carefully go over. So I think that while everybody was, or quite a few of you were a little bit, confused or challenged by this, I think, again, it's not a failure to understand. It's a failure to really just sit down and do the work. That's my guess. Anyway, so I will look quickly at 9E. This appears to have given a lot of people, or a majority of the students, I'd say, a little bit of difficulty at least. This is a review, as it says here. And this is from chapter 8. This is about verbs. Now, Virtual High School does not give you enough practice on verbs in chapter 8, in my honest opinion. And I feel like more of the exercises should have been assigned, as I think I told at least a few of you. But if you go back and look over persons and numbers in chapter 8, you'll see that each one of these has a subject that requires a certain verb to be used. Like, for example, Flavia shouts, where something Cornelia. The choices are estis or s. Now, this just means, estis means you all are, and s means you singular are. So since we're only talking about Cornelia here, we're going to say ubi es Cornelia. Estis would be used if you're talking to, say, Cornelia and Flavia. Where are you, girls? Or something like that. This is given in chapter 8 again in a chart. Number 2, Cornelia janitorem non. And then which one is going to match up to Cornelia? Cornelia is the subject here, right? She's doing the action of the verb, so the verb has to correspond to that person and number. Cornelia happens to be a third person singular. That's a he, she, or an it, and the only one that works there is this T ending for he, she, or it. Excitare means to wake. Excitat means he, she, or it wakes, and excitas means you, singular, wake. So what you need is Cornelia janitorem non excitat. That's the only one that works. For number 3, nos omnes means we all. Now, which one of these 3 verbs has a corresponding verb ending for we? And if you look at your charts, and especially in chapter 8, I believe, you'll see that the only one that works is mus for we. That's a first person plural there. We all are returning today to Rome. Number 4. I should be looking more at Emily's here. Number 4. Cur patrem times. Why are you afraid of your father? Or why do you fear your father, Marcus? Times, you fear. Not vexatis. That's a plural you, like you all annoy. Amatis, also you all love. The only one that works is times. Because it's a singular person, Marcus, just Marcus. Number 5, necesse est epistula. She got a spelling error here. Necesse est epistula statim legere. It is necessary to read. There we need an infinitive. The other choices are trotted, he hands over or she hands over, and legimus, we read. But none of those is going to work here, right? If you say trotted, it is necessary he hands over the letters immediately, but you don't say it is necessary he hands over. You say it is necessary to hand over. An infinitive is needed here. Legere means to read. Number 6, princeps senatores. Your choices are consulere volt or consulere volunt. This one means he wants to consult, and volunt means they want to consult. So again, a T versus an NT makes the difference here. The princeps is the emperor. He is singular, so we go with the singular verb vult. Number 7, why do you all get ready or do you prepare to leave together or at the same time? So you have vos omnes, just as we had nos omnes, we all. Here we have you all. And again, TIS is the verb ending for a plural you, as in you all, right here. So it's all about the ending of the verb corresponding to the subject. Just a few more. Let's see, is there anything harder here? This one, 12. Ego means I. So here we're going to need this O here and here. That O ending is the ending used for the subject I. Ego non surgo. Not ego non dormimus. That means literally, we sleep, right? But ego non surgo, I don't get up. Surgo and ego work together, and I don't want to return to Rome. And then 13, maybe this was challenging. Cornelia is the subject. Cornelia doesn't see the slaves in the fields. Now here, Emily got this one wrong. She said the slaves don't see Cornelia in the fields. If that were true, then servos would be servi, which is a nominative ending for a subject, and Cornelia would be Corneliam, because she would be a direct object, because we would have a subject with a verb aimed back at this direct object here. But we know that Cornelia is a subject because of the ending of her name here, Cornelia, not Corneliam. And then the last one maybe was challenging just for a couple of you. Senatores Romani omnes in urbe sunt. This Roman is part of this subject here. So the other options were Romanos and Romanum, and both of those are direct object forms. But this is part of the subject. All the Roman senators are in the city. So Romani is a nominative ending, not an accusative ending. Okay, well, I hope I haven't just overdone it here or anything like that. But enough of you did have issues. But I am doing my very best to give you as many resources as you need to succeed and do well on these things. But I think some of you are just not taking me up on it, which I'm sorry about. But I'm doing my best, and I would ask that you do the same. Use the resources that you have. Don't blow it. Okay? Take care.